Hey Nick, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you. So tell us, why did you invest in Brij?
Outside of you, I would say, I think the technology is really interesting. I think that a lot of brands are moving into retail quicker. I mean, we got to use Brij with Feastables. I think we were maybe one of the first brands on Brij. And just seeing how the data translates from, obviously online we have all the data, but then offline we have no idea who's shopping in the stores. And you never really get that data either. And so with Brij, it's easy to just capture that data. As we are moving in more of an AI world, the things that'll matter are the inputs you have, and that's also your first party data. And Brij helps you build up that library of inputs so that however you decide to use the data later, your outputs are much stronger.
So yeah, you mentioned Feastables. They've seen tremendous success for us. As you know, vast majority of their distribution is through retail. They're driving over 1 million engagements per month through Brij and starting to use some of our advanced functionality. So they're an international brand. So they're routing customers to different experiences depending on the country that they're in. And then doing a ton of sweepstakes, of course, and then changing the content on a regular basis so that it's like a surprise and delight for the customer. So it's been really fun to see how they're using the platform. And Feastables was using QR codes before Brij, but they just, to your point, didn't have any of the data.
It would just go to a web page.
And now they're actually creating content specifically for the QR code and for Brij because they're seeing the level of engagement that they're getting.
Totally.
You spend a ton of time with brands. What are some of the challenges that you see brands having when moving omni-channel?
The data is the biggest one. Figuring out how to drive sell-through. Like getting to the shelf is raising money, it's step one, but then you have to also make revenue. And driving sell-through is another thing that Brij also helps with. It's those two things, like data and sales. You lose both of those as soon as you sell to a Target or an Amazon or a Walmart. You don't really know what's happening after that other than how many units are selling per store per week and which stores are doing that. But you don't really get any data on why are these people buying, who are these customers. You have no ability to contact them. I think that's the hardest part about retail. That's why D2C as a concept was so interesting for everybody to jump to, was because now you have this data. But in traditional retail, even like the large multi-billion-dollar conglomerates, they have no idea who their customers are. They run focus groups and awareness campaigns. That's pretty much all they do, but they have no idea who's actually buying the product.
It makes complete sense. And what we're doing at Brij is being that bridge to allow a brand to collect that data from retail and to drive sell-through. Obviously have our rebate solution, which is doing really well, especially on the CBG side. You also introduced us to NutriCook, a new customer, and they're more of the product warranty registration. What made you introduce them to Brij, and where did you think there was a fit there?
Well, I think almost every box now has a QR code, and they, in general in all CPG, but most of those QR codes lead to an About Us page or why we exist page or something that's not really that valuable. Whereas here with Brij experiences, there's value in it for the customer and there's value in it for the brand, so it just makes more sense. But with NutriCook specifically, because they're an electronic product, whether it's finding errors in specific batches and being able to figure out which batches have wrongful product, or just figuring out you want to give these people a warranty, or you want to make sure that you have access to them in case there's some update that needs to happen. I think there's like probably 5 or 6 applications for Brij just with this one product.
It's clear that they're like the perfect, down the fairway brand for us. So thanks, Nick. Appreciate your time.
Yeah.